This is D's15, and this is a first play, or unboxing if you will, of Kharazim, the Veradani Monk. He's a melee support who is able to do a couple of different things. It's a very flexible role within a team. He is able to both support the group through increased damage, as well as through some healing. He kind of resumes that random healing that Brightwing used to do before the last patch, or before the Eternal Conflict patch, where he can kind of auto-heal without necessarily expending mana if you spec into it. His traits are actually choosable. He has 3 different ones. They are your actual first row of talents that you can pick from. Transcendence, which will allow you to heal through the every third attack. Iron Fist, which increase damage, actually will crit every third attack. And Insight, which will actually restore your mana for every third attack. So he has a couple of different roles. If you decide to burst out a bunch of different abilities, you can go with that. Iron Fist will allow you to just do a lot more damage, and Transcendence gives you an automatic heal, so you don't necessarily have to pop your abilities constantly. But looking at his abilities, his first is Radiant Dash. He's able to jump or dash towards an ally or an enemy. If you dash towards an enemy, you'll actually do a single attack at that point. So you don't just move, you will actually strike at that point. So you will do a little bit of damage if you want to finish an enemy off. Won't do a ton, just do a basic attack though. It will not charge you towards a structure though. So if you're falling back and all you see is the minion wave passing you as you try and move through it, and you're trying to get towards your defensive line, you cannot charge towards that post. You have to aim towards the last minion to try and give you that extra little bit of a jump, and then you can kind of make it towards that way. It can be used both offensively or defensively. It's a great way to have a good bit of mobility. His W is Breath of Heaven. This will heal nearby heroes for a moderate amount. It also gives them a movement speed bonus, which is wonderful if you're in pursuit. So you don't even if you're at relatively high health, if you're in a group that needs to chase down someone, you can throw Breath of Heaven and then use Radiant Dash, or just speed up the entire group for a significant period of time. 3 seconds in this game is pretty long for a good or significant movement bonus. His E is Deadly Reach. This will allow you to actually increase your attack and attack range. So he actually gains a little bit of range. Now he's still a melee. It's not like you're going to be reaching across the map, but it does give you a decent amount. It has a 10-second cooldown, which since you're actually casting for 2 seconds, it's actually only an 8-second cooldown. And you can later buff into that to increase it to 4 seconds for the total length of time if you're in a stationary position. So if you're really in the fray, just going at it, you can go ahead and just really sit there, and you have a pretty good ability to sustain an attack. Now with this, it also will trigger your traits. So this will actually allow you to hit your trait about 2 times, or if you spec into it, 4 times. So you can actually burst out a good bit of healing, or burst out some extra damage or mana if you need to. Now outside of his basic abilities, he doesn't have a ton of, other than his heroics, he doesn't have a ton of ways to actually deal damage. He's just sitting there and thumping at a person or trying to move through a way. So it's not going to do a ton. You really need to kind of have an extra person in the lane to help you try and push the lane back. His first heroic, though, is 7-sided strike. This will actually make you invulnerable. You strike 7 times over a 2-second period, and this does a flat percentage damage amount to each hero attacked, I suppose. So it doesn't matter what level you're on, it's always going to be 7%, so you don't have to worry about changing in terms of your progression and your levels. So this will allow you to actually do a significant amount of damage to tanks in particular, because of their high health pool, so it'll automatically bring them down by 7% each strike. Now this will always target the highest hero. So if you're in a large cluster and there's one hero just has a really high amount of health, it's going to always try and focus on that one until it evens out. His second heroic is Divine Palm. So this will protect an ally for 3 seconds and then heal them for a significant amount of health if they actually take fatal damage. But they have to take fatal damage. So if you don't actually get your hero or your target to essentially die, it's just not going to trigger. So if you have a really intelligent enemy, they're going to try and refocus their attacks towards something else. It works a lot like the Guardian Spirit for in WoW for the priest talents in the same way. If your target never takes fatal damage, then they're just not going to be healed up that amount. Although it doesn't give you that bonus healing, but that's minor points. So he can do a lot of things. He has a very flexible role. The downside, though, is that he actually picks his trait at the very beginning. So it's not one of those things where you can kind of flex around and say, well, okay, now I need my Iron Fists and to do a little bit more damage because we're in the lane phase and we're not really doing a ton of healing. Or we're going to the group phase. I need to all of a sudden increase my overall heals for everyone and go to Transcendence. You just can't do that. It'd be great if you could, and maybe that might be something in the future. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw that later on in a different hero and something similar. I don't think we're going to see it too much with him anytime soon. That would definitely make him a specialist at that point. And then you'd, of course, have to bring down the amount that you do for each one of those things. But I think it would be a good point moving forward to actually make him a specialist and then allow that to actually be switched around upon. Kind of the same way that the Lost Vikings can kind of switch around between them. But I think that's a pretty good overview of Kharazim. Now, as a quick little disclaimer, this is not actually a first play. I did actually already go through a match before, but some dumbass, and I'm not going to name names, me, forgot to record the actual video for the gameplay. So we're going to go into a new one. We're going to see what happens, and hopefully we'll get some good gameplay sort of experience out of it to learn a little bit more. We're going to go as a solid healer because that's his primary role as a support. And I'm going to show you how that kind of works. So let's get to it.
Guide my path.
Oh, damn it. I forgot to pick his mount again. Wow, someone really has to get this? Okay, well, we'll kill it. Sure, why not? Reach! So there's the reach. We're going to call it the reach around, because why not? Or Radiant Dash. Close enough. Alright, so as I said, we're going to go for Transcendence. So this is his primary healing spec. This will allow you to heal every third basic attack. The odd thing that I find about Kharazim is that you have to get into the fray to really maximize your effectiveness. So it's kind of contradictory to what you do for most healers. Or actually, I think all healers in this. Is there another one? I don't think there is. Maybe there is. If there is, post it. Okay then. Yep. Okay. So just one. Now with Radiant Dash, you do have 2 charges, so you can use it 2 separate times within the same period, within a short period actually. So it's not actually that large a discrepancy. So let's launch this. So every third attack, you're going to see me heal, heal, heal. And you can really push out some damage. He is also very good at taking mercenary camps, even at the middle levels on a solo ability. So you can really push him to get some good damage out. And then great sustainability while in the healing spec. And he can even kind of hang out here for a little while if we really wanted to. So, whoop! Get out of there. And then heal, and then run! Not quite enough. Okay. So, that's a quick little overview. We kind of hit everything. Showed Deadly Reach ever so briefly. And then, okay, we need to go find someone else. Let's go up to Johanna. I bet she needs some help. I'd imagine that she would. So we'll go here. Alright. Ooh. Who are we facing? No, I didn't actually find out. Whee! She's, or he. He is actually really good against tanks because he is able to really push out some damage. The good thing about this, particularly with the 7-sided strike, but the great thing about this, ooh, we are definitely going to head up here. Oh, maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. Where are they going? Go ahead, engage them. Oh, shit! Let us, I think it's time to retreat. And I've already blown that. There we go. Okay, let's get out here. Let's go. Go, 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 go. Running! Alright, well, we know where they're not. Okay, Johanna, let's not go that way. Come on. Come on, Chica. Go down here. No need to get into all that crap. We're gonna lose. I don't know why I did that. I meant to hit the other one. The Deadly Reach. Okay, so for our second one, you can go for Foresight, which will actually reveal in an area located around where you are. Overtake. Ooh, someone died. Overtake, which will increase your Deadly Rage attacks and increase your movement speed. Not terrible, but not the best thing. I tend to go with Healing Ward, just because it gives you a nice AoE heal that you can pop down again. So it gives you a little bit more of that strength as a healer, because you really only have one constant heal that you can always call on. And because I have to use damage to actually get within the hello. Okay, go away. So I have to use damage to actually get or to maximize my healing. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, do I really want to get into that and, you know, just have to be in the middle of everything just to maximize my heals? No, a healer doesn't want to be there. That's not what a healer does, or certainly not what a healer wants to do. So, you know, it's hard. It gives you something else to do. It allows you to actually be, or to use multiple attacks. All right, push out this. That's fine. We'll heal it up. Continue to heal, continue to heal, continue to heal, continue to heal, continue to heal. And then big heal. And that goes down. Ooh, oh, I was going to charge too. Okay. And deal damage to heal. Nope, nope, zip away. Okay, and let's support here. I'd really like to be up top to go help that out. But I'm not sure if we're going to make it there. And, oh, that's going away. Deal some damage there. Okay. Now let's head up top. Wow, our guys are actually doing some good work up there. I like to go with Echo of Heaven for my third tier, just because it, again, gives you another heal. Now, you don't necessarily have to do this if you're just going to be sitting here doing a bunch of, what is it? If you're going to be doing damage necessarily. Also, another way is to do Way of 100 Fists, so it launches a volley of blows, increasing the amount of total damage that you do, instead of a basic attack. So it gives you another option to deal damage with. Clairvoyancy will reveal a targeted area. Kind of be redundant if you went with that and then Foresight, but if you really want to open up a map, and there you go. And then Cleanse, which will remove disables from a target. You also have the ability later on, I think it's 13? No, 16. If you go with 16, you can go with Soothing Breeze, which removes silence, blinds, slows, and roots. So it's essentially doing the same thing. And we are going to get some more XP out of this top one. Maybe not. Maybe we will. Who knows? Again, oh, we do have a good way of getting away. We have a couple different ways. But we are well up ahead, so I think that we're going to go down here, go down to the siege camp. We're going to go ahead and take this one for the good guys. Particularly Sylvanas helps out here. So here you can kind of see us. We're going to sit here. We're going to do a bunch of auto healing damage. Of course, if she does her job properly, we won't actually have to show it. But we can see us push out a little bit of damage and then zip over that way and then heal. Look at that. Excellent. Good stuff. And if we really want to, which I do, you can zip through some different things. So you can actually zip through the walls and barriers, which is really nice. It gives you a lot of movement. It gives you good speed. It also gives you an ability to actually stay out of damage and zip through a couple different things, as long as you have a target to actually head towards. And Sylvanas and I just need to hang out together. We'll do some work on these camps. I tell you what. Whee! So heals, heals, heals. It's great for Kharazim is great for large minion-focused maps. So if you have to hop in on something, a lot like this, then you definitely have an advantage to try and head towards. Ooh. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get him. Get him. But you can see, can't chase all that great because this is only a basic attack with your Radiant Dash. You don't have the ability to do a ton of damage, even though you can chase someone down pretty easily. But, all in all, not terrible. Okay, look at that heal. Excellent. And then we'll head down south and we're going to really wreck them up. Especially if we get inside of here and they're already brawling. Throw a 7-sided strike. We're really going to do some work against them. So let's pinch her and they're not here. Okay. They all quit. And zip. Bing. Done. Okay, you're not going to do things that you want to do. I'm going to tell you that. Yeah, slap on down. And Ooh, I was going to use my 7-sided strike against her. That's okay. Let's see if I can get ahead of him. Nope. Ah, damn it all. That's okay. We still did a good bit of work. Oh, there's shit. They have a terror. Meh. We're just going to continue to push this down. And you can see how he can aid a group. He can certainly get in there and help out. And he has great ability to increase the group's movement speed, as well as, you know, generally heal them up and deal some damage. But it's kind of that in the middle range. You saw that I wasn't able to finish off Arthas as he tried to move away. Okay. Yeah. Oops. Didn't work out quite as I would have liked. Flip ahead and then do this. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and zip and then heal and then move. Ah! Didn't move quite as quickly as I would have liked. That's okay. But we're going to go here and then pop her. Ah. Woo. There we go. Oh! Almost. And then they get the kill. Excellent. So he has a lot of abilities that increase or has the ability to do some shielding. I like Fist of Fury. Now this, you would think that this is primarily a damage dealing talent, but it's actually can be used for both support as well as for damage. So it can do a deal it can it can serve as a dual purpose. And then big punch. And then more big punch. Increase the healing, throw down healing ward. And then we have lots of healing that got thrown out. We don't want to go that way. We want to sit here and heal up. Oh yeah, meant to go with that. Oops. And that's okay. Okay, so we're at level 12. We are going to go down here. Actually, we're going to go ahead and take this mercenary camp, and I'll show you. Oh, actually, we're at 14. I'm sorry. They are at 12. So I'm going to show you what he can actually do here. So, ooh, there's actually already done. There's one down. So you can actually go ahead and just start railing on these guys. And you're going to go ahead and heal up a whole bunch. And then this is back. So you have another heal that's available to you. And now Deadly Reach is back. So you can go ahead and throw that down. And look at this. I'm going to end up taking a bruiser camp by myself with A, no help, and B, I'm at full health now. And 7-sided strike. So you can see that it does a little bit. Woo! I think it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. I need something to attach to. There we go. Excellent. And then we heal up. And is everyone dead? Yeah, everyone's dead. Excellent. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Okay, well, this will show you what you can do. So they have no idea where I am. They assume that I probably went back. But what we're going to do is we're just going to sit here and start gaining on some mercenary camps. I am hoping that they are not smart enough to think that I'm going to be here. Yeah, I don't care. Who cares about that? We're not going to go down there. Ask for assistance all you want. I'm going to be right here trying to take this and praying that they are not going to find me. But look at this. We're just going to continue to sit here, just pop them down, and we're going to gain a wonderful amount of health out of it. And we've actually gained health by going to a mercenary camp. We didn't gain mana, and this is actually one of the few times I've actually run out or come low. So this is the Soothing Breeze. We could go with that, which is not a bad option. Circle of Life, which will increase the breadth of Heaven healing per nearby ally, so it aids you in larger group battles. Radiant Dash, which will allow you to dash a little bit more often. And then basic attacks will decrease your blazing fists. Woo, I want to get out of there. And let's go ahead and heal everyone up. I think we're going to go with Circle of Life, because I believe that we are going to be seeing a whole lot of group battles going on. So, let's do that. Let's go ahead and try that one. And then let's go here. Let's go ahead and try and take another siege camp. Could have darted in, but I'm not sure that would have done us too terribly much good. Particularly since it's just a basic attack and it's going to waste more mana than anything else. Alright, now we got Sylvanas here. Gonna do some nice work here. We want to go ahead and charge on in. We could. Certainly could. Yeah, we're not going to. Heals up! Alright. And then we'll go ahead and heal all that. And doing a little bit of a basey racy kind of thing. And then zip out of there. So you gotta use your deadly or radiant dash both offensively and defensively. The good thing about this is right now I'm healing. I'm not doing a lot of healing, but I am doing healing for the group. Ooh, we can go ahead and push this, which would be kind of sad because I'm not able to get to my Stormtrooper balance. Go ahead and throw that down, but this is, you know, the truth of what the matter is. Okay, heal up while we do a lot of damage to that. We have a chance. We have a chance. Not a great one, but we have a chance. Come on. 7-sided strike. Oh, that's okay. We got the victory out of it. That's a very clean victory right there. And I don't think we died either, which is always a pleasant surprise. But we'll take a look at those Storm Tier talents because I think that's important to always look at. And we were able to push them. You know, we did have that one moment where we kind of backslid, but I was able to take that mercenary camp to keep the pressure on that one lane. I'm a support. I'm not going to take care of all those guys. But that was a nice showing of what he can kind of do. Dashing in, dashing out, able to take mercenary camps as a support by himself. Once you reach about level 11 or so, you can take a bruiser camp pretty easily. Clearly, I'm the only person here actually in support, so we're able to do that pretty well. And of course, we're lagging behind on the hero as well as the generals, but that's not what you do. You can do a little bit, and you need to do a little bit, of course, to actually allow you to be able to heal as Kharazim, but you're not going to be focusing on that. Went 9-0. Very respectable. Certainly like that. And so we went with Transcendence to activate our heals. Healing Ward, which gives you an extra healing ability so that you pop that down. Use it a few times. Not only just for myself when I was taking those mercenary camps a little bit earlier than I kind of wanted to. But it certainly worked. Echo of Heaven, which gives you that second heal. Even though it's only 50%, it's a second heal, which will give you that constant sort of, not really constant, but gives you that extra heal. And because you don't always want to be in the middle of the fray, that gives you that extra ability without having to expend mana to do so. 7-sided strike, I went with that because there's 2 tanks in this group. It's also just fun to kind of use. It's a great graphic. I love the graphic for it. It also gives that flat bonus. But you can see it didn't really take down a whole bunch of people. And it only does 7%, so you're not going to really bring someone from a high amount to a low amount. And when the enemy group is at about the same amount of health, it's going to kind of slowly move the entire group down as opposed to just really shoving one person down. They can be finished off by, say, a Vala or a Sylvanas. Then went with Fist of Fury so I could increase my healing more than anything else. Also do a little bit extra damage, but it was really for the healing, more to burst out just a little bit more. Then with Circle of Life so that when we're all clumped together, go ahead and pop that, increase the amount for 10% for each hero that was there. And so let's look at those last talents. So Transgression, you could do it some more. Or Transgression will allow your 7-sided strike to hit 4 times more. So you can do what, 28% more damage. Yeah, it's okay, but if you're going true healing out, I wouldn't necessarily try and go into that one, unless you're just really trying to push the damage. If you're in if you're the second support in a group, Peaceful Response, which will it will actually allow you to be able to use your Divine Palm much more quickly if your target doesn't die, which is great if you're going to end up using that. But you know, it kind of depends on the group, and if you go into it, even though I was, the primary support for the group, I didn't necessarily go into the Divine Palm just because I wanted to do the extra damage because there's 2 tanks in that group. Storm Shield, that would be my default for a support class, particularly if you, of course, don't go for your Peace or for your Divine Palm. But it's your standard Storm Shield, gives you a good group of or a good amount of actual shielding for your entire group, with a pretty good cooldown. 45 seconds is not terrible for the quality of a shield that you get, even though it only lasts for 3 seconds. And then Epiphany, if you're really having issues with mana, which There's only one time in that entire match that I had some issues with mana. It does refill your Radiant Dash, so if you're finding that you're constantly running, it kind of works like your Bolt of the Storm, you know, where I'll get this sudden refresh so that you can get out of there. But it'd be dependent on, you know, whether or not you're in the lane. Because if you're in the middle of, say, I don't know, the Haunted Mines or the Battlefield for Eternity, any of those 2-lane maps where if you're stuck in the middle and you have to try and escape or retreat, there's just nowhere to go. There's no minions to attach to, whether they be friendly or enemy. So if you're that last person, good luck, because you're not going to find too much. Even though there's a large zone in the Garden of Terror where you're kind of in that, you know, the futzy sort of area where there are no minions, I was able to get to a lane pretty quickly. But in something like the Haunted Mines, you're just SOL. So Epiphany I don't tend to go with, or wouldn't go with, just because of if Bolt of the Storm was there, I'd go with that. Maybe. He's very mobile. He's a very mobile support character. So all in all, I think that he's a very solid support. He can find his way in the upper level or more challenging different types of matches as a second support for sure. Primary support, maybe. I like to think of him more as a flexible support character or a specialist, more so than a true support. He can support a group, and you saw that he was able to, but I was able to put out those really massive heals to do a lot. He can certainly push the damage if you really wanted to go into the damage spec, but you know, just like Rhaegar can throw out a ton of damage, but he's still a healer. You know, he's still, with Kharazim, he's kind of this hybrid character. He's kind of this netherworld of meh. He can do things well, but you're not going to find him doing things as good as another character. You know, you're never going to see Kharazim out heal an Uther. You're never going to see him out DPS a Zeratul. Well, maybe, but he does better burst damage. Either way. So, or let's go with the Butcher, because the Butcher can always put out just a ton of constant damage, particularly at full stacks. But that's the debate for another day. So I think that he has good value, but you're going to have to watch how you use him. But we'll wrap things up for this first play. I think that's a great look at Kharazim, the newest hero in Heroes of the Storm. You know, please feel free to leave any comments below or message me directly. Of course, I appreciate any likes and or subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to take a look at some of our other Heroes of the Storm content, as well as our slowly expanding Let's Play playlist that we'll be developing in the future. We're going to focus on budget games initially, and we'll kind of expand our way out. May have some Grand Theft Auto content out there as well for some random moments of hilarity, if possible. But don't forget to check back. This has been DSnuff15. Thanks for watching, and we'll try and do better next time. For Yeetar!